You got it.
Hey everybody, I'm Ryssdal. Welcome back to Make Me Smart, where we make the day make sense. It is Friday today, October the 13th, for the Trescadecaphobics among you.
Ooh, that's a new word.
Ooh.
Is that?
Oh yeah, Trescadecaphobia.
One more time?
Trescadecaphobia. It's fear of the number 13.
Trescadecaphobia. Cool. I'm Kimberly Adams. Thank you for joining us on the podcast and on YouTube live stream. As we make each other smart all the time, and it's not just you all. We are learning together, and I learned a new word from Kai today. And so today it's Economics on Tap, which is our Friday happy hour, and we are very glad to have you all with us, whether it be on the YouTube live stream, if you're in the Fan Run Discord, or if you're listening to this later on. Thank you.
So we'll do the thing we always do on a Friday. We'll do some news. We'll take a quick break, pay the bills, and then a round of this or that, which is not half full, half empty, for those of you paying attention. Before we get into it, though, what are people drinking? Once again, water. I'll be operating heavy equipment this afternoon, so power tools. So, you know.
Oh, well, good. Water is a good choice. I have a drink failure today. I mean,
oh, no,
epic fail.
An exceedingly rare Kimberly Adams drink fail.
It was a drink fail. So when I was in New York last week, I went out to dinner with my beloved editor, and I had this great cocktail, and they had it as well, and it was great. And I was like, I'm going to try to make this cocktail, because I actually had all the ingredients for the cocktail in my house. And nope, didn't work at all.
So
and so then I spent.
What was it?
It's called Trip City, and the restaurant was called Glassery, and the drink was called Trip City, and it had like apple brandy, rye whiskey, and habanero pepper, and it was just very, very tasty. And I happened to have some apple brandy because I just randomly picked some up the other day, because why not? It's fall. But it didn't.
Sorry, that's just funny to me.
Yeah, but my combo was not.
You're attuned to that stuff, and I think that's cool.
My combo was not like their combo, so then I just kept trying to add stuff to it to make it better, and that made it worse. And so now I just have like a random concoction of various things that I attempted to mix together to make it palatable, and it's drinkable, but it's not at all what they made.
So Bon Appetit magazine used to have this thing back when my mother got it, which was many, many years ago, where they would like you would write in and say, what's the recipe for the, Schnickengrubers at this restaurant that I went to? And Bon Appetit would write to that restaurant, and if it was good, they would publish the recipe. Do they do that for bars?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure I could ask the bartender. Or ask the restaurant. Yeah, maybe I should ask that. Write them a little note and be like, hey, help me out here. Yeah. I am not doing a great job. All right, let's see what everybody else is
public service journalism here. Yeah, so from the YouTube chat, Ann Gwinnett has a question, Kimberly. What is a good apple brandy? So that's the question.
It was a locally made one in DC. There's this shop here called like Shop Made DC that just stocks locally produced items, and so it was like a locally made apple brandy. I forget what it is, but I can take a photo of it and put it in the show notes or something. Yeah.
I saw one
let's see.
Ago. Oh God, Jason Honecker, I'm sorry, you're going to have to leave the chat. Whole hog pumpkin ale. Sorry. Nice knowing you.
Michael in Discord is drinking white burgundy. Aligote, the lesser white burgundy. Never heard of a white burgundy. Like it.
One in here. Nathan Schmidt is having a Bombay Sapphire Martini with Castelvetrano olives, which I really like. The Castelvetrano olives, not the martinis. That's cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's
Lots
see.
of love for your hair, by the way.
Thank you. This is actually a temporary style because I want it to be wavy this weekend because I'm going out, and I do it like this so that when I take it out of these things, it'll be wavy. But it looks fun in the meantime as well. So thank you, everyone. They're not actually braids. These are technically called lock knots, if you're interested. Bob has Old Vine Zinfandel from California. Lee Snooth from Las Cruces has No Swears or Juicy IPA from Ex Novo.
I could use a juicy IPA right now. Mari at Word Glass is drinking vodka with Fanta soda. My goodness.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Well, anyway.
Great.
Should we? Shall we?
News. Yeah, well, let
All
me
right,
do
go ahead.
news first because mine is actually
Yes.
related to hair and Black women's hair
Uh-huh.
specifically. The we talked about this a while back about how there was all this new research finding that the chemicals that are in the hair products, a lot of Black women in particular use to straighten their hair, turn out to give you cancer or at least increase your risk of cancer
Yeah.
in a noticeable way. And so Ayanna Pressley and let's see, Congressman Shontel Brown from Ohio basically wrote the FDA and were like, what are you going to do about this? There's all this research. And so now The Root has an article on it. The Root published this on October the 6th. And so a couple of other news organizations have picked it up since then, but The Root had this first. The FDA has now proposed a new rule to ban those chemicals in hair products and I'm
Oh,
looking
wow.
at the proposed rule right now because, I love my regulations. These chemicals are used in certain cosmetic products that are applied to human hair as part of a combination of chemical and heating tool treatment intended to
Mm-hmm.
smooth or straighten the hair. The use of these products is linked to short-term adverse health effects such as sensitization reactions and breathing problems, and the long-term adverse health effects including increased risk of certain cancers. Now, when they say sensitization reactions, let me just tell you from my childhood what I remember those
Mm-hmm.
reactions
Yeah,
being.
what does
It
that mean?
literally burns the skin off of your scalp. Like, you
Wow.
have to leave it on anywhere from like 5 to 20 minutes, depending on like the curliness of your hair, to get it to straighten your hair. And it is like, it's a chemical, it's like an acid type thing, and it burns the skin on your scalp, and you end up with like all these sores. It's terrible and stuff like that. So yeah, not this is a good thing. So
Yeah.
it's
Wow.
not on
That's horrible.
regulations.gov right now. I looked it, but it is on reginfo.gov, which is a different site for regulations.
Those of you who are wondering why you see me yelling on the YouTube and nothing sound is coming out is because I turned off my sound so that I could yell at Bonsai, who was barking as Kimberly was doing her thing. So I apologize for that. There were people walking
All
by
right.
somewhere in the world. There were people walking by somewhere in the world, and Bonsai decided to depart. Truly, that's the way it is. Mine is brief. It is accompanied by a shake of the head and a fear for our democracy. And it's a line from the Bloomberg article on the House GOP speaker election today. And the line is this: the Ohio congressman, speaking here of Jim Jordan, congressman from Ohio, who's now the GOP's speaker designate with approximately 150 votes in the conference. The Ohio congressman embraced Trump's denial of the 2020 presidential election results and voted to overturn Arizona's electoral college count on January 6, 2021, just as a mob of protesters stormed the U.S. Capitol. 150 people voted for this guy to be Speaker in the House of the United States, right? Second in line to the presidency. Swearing an oath to uphold, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution. I don't think the Republican Party is a serious political party anymore. I don't see how you can make the case.
I I really don't see a way out of this either.
No,
Like
no.
nobody has a path to 217 being the number of votes that you
Yep,
need to actually
yep,
become Speaker of the House. Nobody has a path right now.
yep.
And a bunch of them have already left for the weekend. I
Oh, I know.
imagine more are going to be. And as you said on the show today, that clock is ticking down to
Yep.
the next government funding deadline. And without a Speaker of the House, like how are they even going to bring those things to the floor? And
I don't know.
folks in the chat talking about a coalition candidate. I mean, it's it,
Maybe, but it's not going to be Jim Jordan. There are zero Democrats who
well,
are going
no,
to
they're
work for Jim
talking about
Jordan.
Hakeem Jeffries, that maybe some of
Oh,
the
yeah. Well,
Republicans would.
Hakeem Jeffries now has more votes than anybody to be Speaker. He's got 212. You know,
He just needs
he's got the whole
five
Democratic
Republicans
caucus.
who get
That's right.
real
That's right.
tired of this, who are just like, you know what? Screw it. I
Right.
mean, lose their seats forever, but
Oh, for
and
sure.
that's the
But
thing.
yeah, I know. Well, it's a little bit of, country over party, right?
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
that's what it
and
would be.
although I suppose you could get enough people voting like present or something to make it so that the Republicans wouldn't actually
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
to vote
Yeah.
for him.
Right.
And
Right.
you could do it that way, but that would still be just so
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
unprecedented, but then so is everything in American politics these days. So, yeah.
Yeah. And look, I know nobody has missed this news. Certainly nobody listening to this podcast or on the live stream has missed it because y'all are news people. I had to comment because I just couldn't help myself. That's all. That's all. That is
Well, did you see that they've got a new nominee now?
No. Or what's your joke? Come on.
No. Hold on. Never mind. I'm gonna mess with it.
All right.
I'll leave it alone.
All
Leave
right.
it alone. Leave it
All
alone.
right, we'll leave that one alone. We will call that the end of the news. We're going to take a break,
Yes.
and we're coming back for a round of this or that. Here we go.
Okay, this is our game, This or That. Drew is out today, but joining us now is Marketplace Tech producer Daniel Shin. Welcome back, Daniel.
Hello again.
Hi, Daniel.
Hello.
How are you? Thanks
How
for
are
coming on.
things? Of course.
Good.
So, special fall edition of This or That. And here's your first
If
topic.
there's pumpkin spice in here, man, you're fired. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, I just got the list. I didn't make it. Talk to your producer.
All right,
I
fine.
work on a different
Marissa
show.
and Courtney and Bridget are all fired if there's pumpkin spice in here.
Right,
Anyway,
right.
go ahead. I
Well, the
can't fire
first
anybody,
one,
but-
a little related though. What would you prefer? Halloween or Thanksgiving?
Oh, interesting. I have thoughts.
Sorry, Halloween for sure. Halloween.
Really?
I have. Oh my gosh! You know I like dressing up. I have so many.
You know, that's so
costumes.
funny. I'm what an idiotic surprised voice out of me. That's true. That's true.
Of course, it's Halloween. I'm going to 2 different Halloween parties this year that I know of. More may be added to the calendar. And the only reason I don't have my own Halloween party anymore is because my friend who does a Halloween party with his partner, they have their big Halloween party. And so as not to conflict, I do the 4th of July party and they do the Halloween party. And so the friend groups, don't have to do the thing. So yes.
What I love is you're so socially active, and in such a socially active crowd, you have to deconflict your parties. I love that. Oh my god. That's great.
Okay, so what about you?
I'm a Thanksgiving guy over Halloween any day. Halloween is my least favorite day of the year. Full stop. Just don't care for it at all.
That's because your trick-or-treaters don't tell you jokes the way they do in St. Louis, and so you don't get the
That is-
full
that is
joy of
possibly true.
Halloween. Yes,
That is possibly
it would be
true.
much better that
All
way. What's next?
Second one is specifically about movies. Hocus Pocus or Gremlins?
So Hocus Pocus is the witch one, right? With
Yes,
God.
which is the Sanderson sisters. I put a spell on
of course
you. Yes.
I'm just going to step back and let Kimberly run this one because I have no idea either. Well, Gremlins is probably scary, right? Wasn't Gremlins a scary movie?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
I'm out.
was.
Forget
I have to do Hocus Pocus because, like, I still, no, like that. I was too young to watch that movie. I really was. Like, that was scary.
So somebody just put it. Somebody who's running the marketplace account in the chat just put amok in the chat. That clearly means something.
So in Hocus Pocus, there's a scene where the Sanderson sisters, they wake up from their sleep of several hundred years and they wake up on Halloween, which used to be like the witches' night. And they thought that they were seeing monsters and devils roaming the streets. And they were like, wait a minute. Instead of being a night for, evil, it's where children get out and run amok. And then Sarah Jessica Parker's character goes, amok.
I had forgotten she was in that. Jesus. And was Bette Midler in that?
Bette Midler. Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yep.
There you
And
go.
I think they're all the same ones are in the second version. I haven't seen Hocus Pocus 2, but I think they're all in there too.
In other news, there was a Hocus Pocus 2. Daniel Shin, move us along, shall we?
Third topic.
Get out of here.
Third topic is Oktoberfest or a pumpkin patch.
I'll go with Oktoberfest, even though it's, a Bavarian lager. I'll take a big stein of beer over a pumpkin patch any day. Just saying.
I will take a pumpkin patch over a big stein of beer any day. I went to a pumpkin patch last weekend with my nieces and nephews, and it was very fun
You're a good
until
man.
the rain
You're a good
started, and then we ran.
You win some, lose some. Win some, lose some.
Yes.
Yes, also a bratwurst, says Jin Peck. Oktoberfest with a bratwurst. Yes, definitely. Absolutely.
Okay, what's
All right,
next?
Daniel, what do we got? Is this the last
And
one,
is
or
this
do
the
we have
last
one more
one?
before the poll?
I've got a few
Yeah.
more actually here.
Okay,
Number
go for it.
4,
All right.
cozy sweater weather or plaid flannel season.
Aren't they the
Cozy
same
sweater
thing?
weather.
Wait. Aren't they the same thing?
At least not to
Really?
me.
What's the
See,
difference?
to me, like flannel weather is like you're out and active and doing things. So it's like that crisp fall. And
Uh-huh.
cozy sweater weather is like when it's like, oh no, it's too cold. I'm staying inside in my cozy sweater. That's what it means to me.
Oh.
But
All
I
right.
don't
Okay.
know
Well,
what it means to
well,
everybody
no,
else.
we will go with your definition, and if that's the definition, that is the one thing I miss from living on the East Coast is crisp, being outside. Your nose starts to run a little bit. I miss that more and more every year, and I've been in LA for 30 something, 25ish years now. So I guess I'll go with flannel, right? If we're defining that as crisp and outdoors and moving around stuff, I will go with flannel. Yes.
You know what? I'm gonna have to change my vote there because now that I
Oh, you're
think about
killing
it,
me.
I do love
Killing
being
me.
outside in the fall weather. So I will go with flannel. I still keep my definitions, but I'm gonna go with the
Oh, all
flannel
right.
weather
Okay.
instead of cozy sweater
All
weather.
right.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Number 5, we've got a couple more here.
Okay.
As far as Halloween costumes go, ninja or vampire.
I'm gonna say vampire just because I'm extra paranoid about cultural appropriation and, don't want to even possibly cross the line as a grown up.
I will take neither. Thank you very much. I got to be true to myself. Got to be true to myself. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. This is the last one, and it's, I believe, a poll question as well.
Yes.
Yes.
So we will vamp for a minute while all y'all answer, and Daniel, hit it.
Costume party or a haunted house?
God, this is like my version of hell here. This or that. What is even going on here? Whew.
So
What is
my
even
mother
going on here?
used to drag us to so many haunted houses when we were kids. And when I was actually, now that I think about it, we had a haunted house in our house around Halloween when I was a child because my mother converted our basement and there was like a tunnel that ran kind of underneath our house from the front to the backyard, like a little kind of breezeway looking underground thing. And so my mother set it up so like the front yard would look like a graveyard. People would come in through the graveyard, go down into this tunnel, which she would like make all full of creepy things and like put like foam chunks on the floor covered in sheets and make it feel like you were walking on body parts. And then you come out the other end of the tunnel and go through creepy stuff in the backyard, then go into the basement where she had like us dressed up as creepy characters, like jumping out of old chests and things like that, and people coming around corners. And it was like a full-on haunted house in our house, which I think was actually haunted, like legit. And then people would line up down the block to come to the haunted house in our house. And then one year, like a bunch of like bad teenagers like chased somebody in there and got into a fight, and so she had to shut it down, but she got like interviewed about it on the news and everything like that, so she was super into haunted houses.
Wow.
She loves scary things.
No, hard pass. Wait, all right, so we have now killed enough time. So
Yes.
you have to answer the question. You want a costume party or a haunted house?
Costume party. I don't like being scared. And maybe I have like suppressed childhood memories of my mother constantly jumping out and scaring me. But I do not like jump scares. I don't like scary movies. I don't like blood. I don't like gore. I like costume parties. I like dressing up, and I'm here for that. Definitely not haunted houses.
Yeah, so I'll be a sport and play along and just make a choice because I'm supposed to make a choice. I would take a costume party over a haunted house any day. Any day. I'm a huge chicken, and I'm not afraid to admit that.
I feel like there's enough real life scary stuff that we don't have to intentionally make ourselves frightened.
Totally.
Like, look outside.
Totally.
Anyway, So the votes are in. We had 202 votes. I think I saw 71% in favor of the costume party. And yes, 28% for haunted house. So most people have sense. Not to bash the haunted house industry.
Yes, they do. Oh my goodness!
I appreciate
Daniel
the
Shin,
job.
Thank you so much.
You're
oh
very
my
welcome.
lord!
Yes, thank you, Daniel.
That was my worst nightmare version of this or that. God.
Oh, don't tempt fate, Kai. They'll come up with something worse, I'm sure.
I know, right? I know.
All right, that is
my
it for
goodness.
us today. Yes, we will be back on Monday, and I see y'all shouting out the solar eclipse over the weekend. I hope everybody who gets to see it and sees it safely don't burn your vision. If you have a question or comment that you want to share, please, we do love to hear from you. Please leave us a voicemail at 508-UB-SMART, or you can email us at makemesmart@marketplace.org.
Oh, you can tell Jay's
early.
the sneak fade here. No, he did the
Sneak
sneak
fade.
fade. Make Me Smart is produced by Courtney Bergsaker. Today's episode was engineered by Jay Seabold. Our intern is Neelafar Shabani.
The team behind our Friday game is Emily McCune and Antoinette Brock. Marissa Cabrera is our senior producer. Bridget Bodner is the director of podcast, and Francesca Levy is the executive director of digital and on demand. And Robert says in the chat that you can get Eclipse glasses at your local library. Thanks, Robert.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah,
Public service
super cool.
journalism right there.